Well, we all know how that went. So, since my last video back in January, I've done quite a few things. The most important of which being that I graduated college. Plus, I was able to save up enough money to pay off my entire student debt as well. No 20 years of student loan payments for me. In less important news, I also beat quite a few gauntlet levels I never thought I would ever beat back in 2018. Starting with Extinction by Heian, which literally gate-kept the first level of the Doom Gauntlet forever for me. I also beat Hellgate Menace by Chase. I finally claimed the Monster Gauntlet reward. Beat Kyongstein, which placed 3rd in the World Gauntlet. Beat Saintless Ash by Whirl, which placed 5th in the Discord Gauntlet contest. And then, just yesterday, I beat A Dust by Felix Ram, which is the 4th level of the Death Gauntlet. While playing this level, I found out that even after 8 years of playing this game, I still suck at ship control and triple spikes. Eventually, though, after an hour and a half, I finally beat it. It took me a grand total of 282 attempts. It's just so nice to finally have this level done after 6 years. So now the only level I have left here is the Behemoth, and then the rest of the Doom Gauntlet. I also rebeat the non-Gauntlet version of this level as well for the extra 10 stars. Then as one last thing I want to mention here, in the past year I got back into building Legos again, so that's been a nice hobby to come back to after all this time. And the building techniques have definitely evolved quite a bit since I left the hobby in 2017, I want to say. There's so many more useful parts and amazing minifigures now. Bonus points if you can name all the sets in the background here. I will pin the first person who correctly names all 15 of these. Anyways, we're now 3 minutes into the video and I have yet to talk about the level you actually came here for. But, as you can see here, I specifically set up my star count and orb count, so beating this level would get me to exactly 1 million orbs and 20,000 stars simultaneously. Editor's note, this footage was recorded 10 months ago, back in September last year. So I am now closing in on 1,234,567 orbs and 24,000 stars. Getting into the actual level now, yeah, this definitely feels like a level that was made in 2017 due to the block designs and great first attempt, man. Just seeing the level built like this reminds me a lot of other levels that were built in 2017, back when everybody was trying to figure out what the Finger Dash lyrics were. And people didn't care as much about the demons list since there were less than 50 extremes at the time. Anyways, here's the first coin. Wow, I could not have gotten any closer to dying there, could I? And yes, you do need to collect this green heart here, or that pillar on the far right will not go down. And now we get to the drop. This part is essentially just some tight flying. Then, for this dash orb, I would recommend letting go of it and jerking yourself up instead of just holding the dash orb the entire way. This makes it a lot more consistent. Then, after this wave section, we get to one of my favorite gimmicks of the level. You have to look at the pieces here and remember which ones they are. So go down, up, middle to get them all correct. Just released this second dash orb here early to get the second coin. This UFO section is really easy to figure out a click pattern for. Just go through it in practice mode and do what feels natural. Wow, 46 already? I was not expecting to get that far, just explaining the gimmicks. Anyways, for this robot section here, you have to let go of that pink dash orb early, skip this second green orb here, and miss this red orb here. Now here, don't hit any of these 3 orbs, and hit this blue orb that's off screen instead. Now here you could go down like this, but I prefer to go over the top, because that way it's just more awesome. Lastly, you can't just hold here or this will happen. So you have to slightly time this last jump instead, so you actually make it. Now back to the video highlights. So you can hit that too late. Got it. Wait, how did I die there? Okay, so I think I hit this dash orb too high, which caused me to hit this green orb too high and not swing over the spike with a big enough swing. Instead, I should have done something more like this. Yeah, that definitely wasn't close at all. So, while I'm dying to this level over and over again, do you guys know I beat a 60-year-old professional chef in a baking competition? So, there's this one chef at my work who's a bit of a micromanager. That can be very annoying at times. For the sake of this story, we're just gonna call him Kyle, because that's a lot easier. And there's like 4 chefs in this story. Now, everyone at my work has had their problems with Kyle from time to time. Some of the crazy experiences I can name are like when I popped in to work for like 10 seconds one day just to check the schedule, and he still commented, "You're not working today." And I'm thinking like, yeah, but what about tomorrow or next week? Sheesh. Or that other time where I was literally in the middle of draining the machine and stuff, and Kyle's just facing the other direction, and he's like, "Oh, make sure you drain the machine." Like, yeah. And I'm thinking like, yeah, I'm in the middle of doing that right now. But of course you don't notice because you're not even facing my direction before making a stupid comment like that. It's not just me though who has problems. Everybody at my work seems to have problems with him. One day on his weekend off, he literally called one of the other chefs while we were working, and he's like, "Oh, make sure you do this, and this for me for Monday." I found it so entertaining that even on his weekend off, he decides to call up the other chefs to check on them. Then this other day, I was working with this one boy who was on wait staff, and he comes up to Kyle serving lunch, not even saying anything, but just gesturing like, "Oh, can I have lunch?" And Kyle just says, No, I'm busy right now. You can't serve your lunch." And then like literally 30 seconds later, this other girl who is attractive comes up to him and is like, "Kyle, can I please have a tuna sandwich?" Which isn't even on the menu. He's like, "Sure thing, darling." And he stops what he's doing and just goes to make her a tuna sandwich, when the boy I was working with on wait staff would have just easily taken what was there already. It's ridiculous. Anyways, getting back to the main story here. So, one day, one of the other chefs I was working with, his name's Chip, he says, "Kyle, I need you to make a zucchini bread for next weekend's dinner." Kyle's like, No, I don't bake, I don't like baking. And I'm thinking like, oh, that's ridiculous. It's like me working as a dishwasher here, but saying, "Oh, I'll only do the plates. I won't do any of the pots with any of the stuck on tomato sauce or anything on them." So I say out loud, "Zucchini bread is so easy. I could do that, and I only know how to make a handful of things like frozen mac and cheese and grilled cheese. Then a few other things I could literally count off on my hands here. I'm gonna make zucchini bread this week and bring it in this weekend to prove it's not that hard." So I go home that week and I make zucchini bread. I recruit my mom to help me because I've never made zucchini bread before and I don't want it to turn out terrible. Here are some photos of the zucchini bread I made. So I bring a couple slices of that into work that weekend and I give it to Chip to judge, and he's like, "Wow, this is really good. Nice and moist and everything. Definitely better than the one Kyle has out there." So I take that as a win. And then I find out a few days later, Kyle just pulled a massive cop-out and refused to make the zucchini bread. So one of the chefs from the other building had to make it for him. So I'm thinking, like, I can't believe this. I mean, I can, because it's completely in character for him, but it's like, seriously, you are a 60-year-old professional chef, and you're having a fit about having to make something outside your comfort zone. Well, the good thing is, karma caught back up with him, because like 2 weeks later or something, he gets a call saying he has to leave work early, because raccoons made it into his attic somehow. I was satisfied when I heard that, because while I don't wish any ill will towards the guy, at the same time I'm like, haha, take that, you micromanager. The universe always catches up with you sooner or later. Yes, there we go. Exactly 1 million orbs and 20,000 stars. So glad to finally have this done. So, overall, this level really only took me 80 attempts today, which is pretty good. It's basically just normal mode because I knew the whole level already, but it's still really fun and I still really enjoyed playing it. This definitely deserves its spot as the first 2.1 demon because it's just really fun to play. It's a nice easy medium demon for those looking to try out some harder levels. The level design definitely feels like a product of its age, but it's still really good for its time. I definitely would recommend it for anyone looking for some nice easy medium demons to beat. So now we go back to my profile here, hit refresh, and there, exactly 20,000 stars. That is so nice. Then I can go into my stats here and see that I have exactly 1 million orbs as well, both here and in the shop on this page. So I'm just going to post an account update right here really quick, just to document my progress. Anyways, this is definitely one of my favorite early 2.1 levels, and I definitely recommend checking it out if you have the skills to play it. Anyways, if you guys liked this video and want to see more levels like this in the future, feel free to leave a like on the video or tell me in the comments what you thought of the video and what I can improve on, since I always read all comments. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video, which is in hopefully less than 8 months this time.